Am I the asshole for saying to kick my dad and stepmom out of my house? My mother passed away when I was a teen and left her paid-off house we lived in my name. My dad was not active or present in my life but ended up moving into my house with his GF now wife to take care of me because I was 16-17 and still in high school at the time. Fast forward 8 years, I am ready to live on my own. Went to undergrad, graduated 2 years ago and now work a stable job. My dad and stepmom have been keeping up the maintenance, paying utilities, no rent since they moved in, and I am very appreciative and thankful for everything they have done for me and my house. I guess the problem is I feel like I am ready to take care of the house myself and live on my own in my own place. I suppose I would have to kick them out, right? I sort of brought this up to the both of them and my dad basically said he felt like I used them to get to a point where I could take care of myself and kick them to the curb. And then asked if I would give him a percentage of whatever I may get from selling my house, if and when that time came. I didn't answer straight away and told them I would have to think on it. My stepmom was upset at my response and basically said I shouldn't have to think about it and to just give them a percentage because of everything they've sacrificed moving into the house, paying utilities, property taxes, maintenance, etc. while I was in high school and college. Lastly, my dad suggested that we sell my house to buy a bigger house and add his name to the new mortgage. I am completely against this and he doesn't like that I did not agree with his idea. I honestly don't feel like it because I'm starting to feel like my dad thinks I owe him for doing his job as a parent. I'm just ready to live on my own as an adult, but I feel like they were planning on staying in my house forever. Edit. I want to thank you all for your input. I'm in awe with your responses and I feel so much more confident in putting my foot down and voicing what I want. Being a 25F, I'm trying to find honest feedback without being taken advantage of because I clearly can't go to my family lol. With my uncle's situation, I was able to connect with a lawyer and are working out how to get some of it back. Learned he gambled my mom's savings that was left to me away. I would hate to resort back to getting a lawyer for my dad and stepmom, but I will keep you all updated with what happens. Not the asshole. In lieu of rent, they took care of maintenance and utilities. I am willing to bet that's a lot less than what rent would have cost them. They're trying to figure out a way to get a piece of your inheritance. Not the asshole. It's your house, you get to decide what to do with it. You did not use them in any way. What your dad did is just being a parent. Give him adequate time to find a home and kick him out if need be. That way if he is homeless afterwards it is on him for not saving up for a home. My dad basically said he felt like I used them to get to a point where I could take care of myself. Yeah, I mean it's not like he's your dad. Because of everything they've sacrificed. Not paying rent? Is she aware that as your dad, it's literally his job to raise you? I feel like they were planning on staying in my house forever. You can bet. Talk to a lawyer and see how you can kick them out. Not the asshole. They got 8 years of no rent. You did not use them. They used you. Not the asshole. My mortgage is about $1,000 a month, and I live in a cheap place. Your father lived in your house, rent-free, for years. He would have had to pay utilities wherever he lived, but likely he also would have had to pay for housing. He didn't. If I do some conservative math, he's stayed with you for 6 years, at $1,000 a month. He has saved over $70,000 for staying in your house. You're being nice about it. This is your mother's home and it is in your name. I'd give them a couple weeks to be shitty about it before I started making an issue of it. But you are not in the wrong. Not the asshole. You used them to get to the point you could take care of yourself? You mean he actually had to be a parent? What the hell, they have been living rent-free for years. They have taken complete advantage of you. Get rid of them, and if you sell, do not give them a dime. They have taken enough financial advantage of you and don't deserve a penny more. Think about this. They moved in rent-free. They lived there rent-free for years. They should have saved several $1,000s because of this, well over $100,000 if you think of a low rent for a house. They only paid for utilities and taxes which they would have paid regardless of where they lived. They got off super cheap. Don't give them a percentage, buy a bigger home with them, or do anything but have them leave. You have already saved them so much money and they are just guilting you. Not the asshole. Dad seems pretty proud to have done the bare minimum required by law. Mom left you the house for a reason, and I doubt it was because she wanted you to provide lifetime housing for stepmom. They didn't do much parenting for you, but now you get to do for yourself. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your dad chose to move in and when you turned 18 you allowed him to stay. He lived at your house rent-free. You could have charged him rent the whole time. Do not sell your house, give him a percentage of sale or buy a house with his name on the deed. Not the asshole. Your dad was legally obligated to take care of you as a minor. They have had 8 years to save. The house is an inheritance from your mother, which sounds like she owned before she married your dad. So he isn't entitled to anything if you sell. If he wants to be paid for the maintenance, etc., ask him for 8 years of rent he didn't pay. Not the asshole. You need to make your own choices, even if they happen to hurt someone else. Living your own life doesn't make you an asshole. It's not like you sold the house and they have 12 days to move out. He felt like I used them to get to a point where I could take care of myself and kick them to the curb. Does this guy not know what being a father is? Children don't owe their parents for taking care of them. I didn't answer straight away and told them I would have to think on it. Speak to a lawyer for real advice here. But you aren't wrong to keep the things your mom left you. Natar put up cameras though, they ain't going quietly. Not the asshole. Give them formal written notice to vacate based on your country or state's rules. They have not paid market rent so have had plenty of time to save for somewhere else. They have no entitlement to stay or claim any part of a property which is not theirs. Do not let them manipulate you or threaten you. Not the asshole. Your father and his wife have lived rent-free for 8 years. Some sacrifice. If dad has gone above and beyond in repairs and any renovation, replaced appliances etc. more than he would have done if they were renting a place, maybe, just maybe, you could compensate him. As an aside, just how generous has he been funding your life and education? Did he actually contribute like a father or did he administer what your mother left you? Not the asshole whose payment, not that he deserves any, was living rent-free in a home that you own. Not the asshole. You are exactly right that your dad wants to be compensated for doing his job as a parent. He and your stepmom have been living in an extremely subsidized housing situation for 8 years. They should have been saving the difference between the market rate of housing and what they paid in taxes and utilities. That they did not is not your fault. Do not buy a new house with them. It's time for you to live your adult life. Not the asshole. He was required by law to take care of you. You are not required to take care of him. Tell him that all the expenses he paid are the equivalent of the rent he would have paid elsewhere. Tell him he has 30 days to find a new place to live and serve him with eviction papers. Not the asshole, but I am for sure gonna remember that sentence. Next time I'm moving out of an apartment I'll ask the owner for a contribution if he is planning on selling the apartment since I paid rent for so long. I mean WTH. I am sure they made a great deal living with you compared to renting a house. Not the asshole. I am surprised that your mom's lawyer or executor didn't insist on a formal agreement to prevent a situation like this. Or wait, reading your update, was your uncle the executor? Definitely consult a lawyer. Either the one handling the situation with your uncle, or the one your mom used for her estate. I'm sorry your relatives are taking advantage of you. Not the asshole. Taking care of the house was their rent for staying in the home you own for 8 years. Taking care of you after your mom's passing was his job as a father. Time to serve him and his wife an eviction notice. I doubt you'll get them out any other way given how entitled they're being,